Hello and welcome back to Overlay DFS. My name is Ira Silver and I'll be your host for today's special edition of the Super Contest Show brought to you by OverlayDFS.com. It's Friday at 4 o'clock and we got a fun show for you today. I'm feeling great. I don't know about you, but we have a lot to talk about. First off, I just found out that Antonio Brown has been cut by the New England Patriots. Now that is mind-blowing. I don't know about you, but I thought he was there to stay. The second thing we got going on today is we're going to talk about the Super Contest. But before we dive into the Super Contest spreads, the lines, and who we have, we're going to go ahead and give you a little bit of who Overlay DFS is and what we're all about if you're new to the channel. So what OverlayDFS.com is, we are starting the revolution. We have a revolutionary start-sit format for daily fantasy sports. And what that means is we have matchups listed in the contest. So, for instance, you have Adam Thielen versus Stephon Diggs, James White, Sony Michel, Kyler Murray, Garoppolo, Tom Brady, Phillip Rivers. All you got to do is you got to pick who's going to have the most total fantasy points between those two players. If you're right, you get a win. And if you're wrong, you get a loss. The object of the game is to stay in the top 10% of your entries, and you win 9 times your buy-in. So, for instance, in the $100 game, you will go ahead and win $900 if you finish in the top 10%. The great thing is, not only can you win $900, but if you finish a perfect 12-0 in your selections, you will go ahead and win the progressive bonus of over $26,000 in the $100 game right now. So without further ado, let's jump in to sharing the screen and talking about this week's Super Contest and who we are going to play. All right. So let's pick some winners. Last night, we did not start off great. We did take the wrong side in the Thursday night game. So we are 0-1 for the week. And it's unfortunate because right now we're in the middle of the pack in the Super Contest and we're feeling okay. I made a bad decision. Okay? I'm going to say it right now. I made a bad decision. If you guys have watched my videos in the past, I am a huge Gardner Minshew fan. I am a Pac-12 guy. I watched this guy in college. I said, let's go all in with him last week and win all the money with Gardner Minshew. We took the Jaguars last week against the Texans. We covered and we almost won the game outright. This week, even though I love Gardner, I thought it was a little bit of a tough spot for him. Rookie quarterback on a short week. Although he is at home, there was a lot of drama with the team. And again, short week. The Titans have a good defense. So I didn't think it was a great spot for him, and boy, was I wrong. The Titans got blown out, and they looked horrible. I'm happy for my boy Gardner. I love the moxie. I love the swagger. I love how he's playing right now. I love how he's reading the defense. So I'm going to look at the Jaguars every single week. This week was just especially, I was just on the other side of the Jaguars this week, just given the fact that it was a short week, and he did not have that much time to prepare. But turns out I was wrong. I'm glad I was wrong. Also a little upset, obviously, because we started 0-1 the Super Contest this week. But I'm happy because I really like Gardner Minshew moving forward. And I got Chark in the season long, so that's nice. So let's talk about who we are selecting this week. And I'm going to have to go off the top of my head because I don't have it in front of me, but I think I'll remember here. So let's jump into it. First game on the board, we got the Packers minus 7.5 at home against the Denver Broncos. And listen, you guys are going to be a little weirded out by this pick because I swore off the Broncos in my week 2 video. Okay, I said I'm going to look to bet against them every week, but I just think this line is too high. I just think it is too high, and I might be wrong. I'm not betting teams. Remember, guys, we're not betting teams. We're betting numbers. I'm going to go ahead and take the Broncos on the road in Lambeau plus 7.5. Let's go. Second game on the board, Eagles minus 6 at home against the Lions. Another game I didn't love, but it was my 5th pick off the board. I'm going to go ahead and take the Eagles here at home minus 6. They did not look great last week against the Falcons. They were banged up. They lost the game. They had a chance to win, though, because Matt Ryan played so bad. That was my pick last week. So we're going to try and ride the Eagles here again to victory. Got to cover 6 at home. I'm just thinking that the Lions are just that bad, and they won last week against the Chargers. Eagles lost last week. a good bounce back spot for them. So let's go Eagles -6. Next game on the board, and wow, look at this. 3 out of 3 here. We got the Chiefs at home -6.5 against the Baltimore Ravens. And I don't know about you, but I really hate betting against the Chiefs because they are such a high-powered offense with Patrick Mahomes playing quarterback. But give me Lamar Jackson. Let's go. On the road, +6.5. Let's go Ravens. That's our third pick. Well, fourth if you count the Titans. Ravens, +6.5 on the road, playing against the Chiefs. Next pickup, we got the Bills -6 at home against the Bengals. I am not playing this game. I do like the Bills. I love Josh Allen's growth this year. He just needs to learn how to hold on to the football. I think with that conference being pretty banged up, the Bills have an outside chance of making the playoffs as a wild card team. I don't have an opinion just because the line's a little bit big for me, but if I had to back a side, I would probably say stick with the Bills -6, but don't quote me on that one. Please don't take my advice for that one. But I do like Josh Allen and what they're doing in Buffalo. Next game up, Colts -1.5 at home against the Falcons. I'm going to have to go with the Falcons here on the road. You got Matt Ryan playing in a dome in Indy. He is getting 1.5. The Colts are still with Brissett, who I like, although I just think that they are, not as good as they looked. And I think the Falcons are a little bit worse than they looked. So I'm just going to go ahead and if I had to, this is not a pick, by the way, but if I had to lean one side, it would have to be the Falcons. Oh, it might have been a pick. Let's see. No, it was not a pick. It might have been a pick. Whatever. Falcons in this one. Next game on the board, you got the Vikings at home against the Raiders. I'm going to look up who I got real quick, guys. All right. And in fact, it is. We have the Falcons +1.5 on the road at the Fast Track in Indy. So scratch that. I have them. We're taking the Falcons here. Next game up on the board, Vikings -8.5 at home against the Raiders. How could you not like backing the Vikings? But the line is a little high for me. I don't have action in this one in the Super Contest, but if I had to pick a side, I would probably it's such a tough one. Such a tough one. The Raiders are Jekyll and Hyde, and the Vikings are also Jekyll and Hyde. Vikings play much better at home. Let's go Vikings -8.5, but I don't feel great about it. Patriots at home -22.5 against the Jets and third string quarterback Luke Falk. This is a stay away game for me. I'm not even going to give my opinion on this. All I know is these two games, the Patriots and the Cowboys coming up next, are two of the biggest point spreads we have seen in the same week in a long, long, long time. Next on the board, Cowboys -21.5 at home against the Miami Dolphins. No opinion. But look for the Cowboys to score a lot of points. But I have no opinion on the game. Buccaneers at home against the Giants, and Bucs are -6.5. Listen, we don't know what to expect from Danny Dimes. Daniel Jones coming in and starting for the benched Eli Manning, for the legend Eli Manning. But it's going to be a little bit of a tough, tricky spot for him, I think, even though the Buccaneers D isn't fantastic. I like what Todd Bowles is drawing up in Tampa Bay. Rookie quarterback on the road. Buccaneers are a little feisty on defense. I'm going to go ahead and lean Bucs, but it is not a play, right? Yes, it is not a play. Cardinals at home -3 against the Panthers. We don't have it here in the Super Contest, but I will tell you that this is a play in the Circa Millions contest for us. We do have the Cardinals in this spot. I'm not sure if it was 2 or 3 in the Millions. Let me check. I'm not sure, but we have the Cardinals minus, I believe, 3. It's either 2 or 3 against the Panthers in the Millions contest. Those lines are posted online, so you can definitely check them out after the show. I love what Kyler Murray's doing. No Cam Newton. This was a play of mine that I've been on since the beginning of the week, even with Cam Newton. Not sure if he was playing, but he has been ruled out. Kyle Allen will start. But yeah, two picks that I was on this week early were the Broncos and the Cardinals. and the Ravens. Those are 2 or 3 picks that I was on pretty early. So I'd like to see 3 of those come through. At least those are my 3 best bets for Sunday. It'll be the Cardinals at home, the Broncos on the road catching 7.5, and the Ravens catching 6.5 in Arrowhead playing the Chiefs. I just think they're going to stay in it, and their defense is going to keep them in it. And the Chiefs' defense isn't that great, and I think the Ravens can expose them. Next game on the board, the Seahawks at home -4 against the Saints. Again, another game that's really tough. We don't know what the Saints are going to draw up. We don't know what Sean Payton's going to do, but we do know he is going to play 2 quarterbacks here in this game, kind of like a little college first game set. You're going to see Taysom Hill and Teddy Bridgewater at the helm for the Saints. Should be an interesting one. We'll see how it plays out. It'll be an afternoon game, so I'll definitely be keeping my eye on the game. But I don't have an opinion. Do not have an opinion on that game. 5th pick for us in the Super Contest are the Chargers -3 at home against the Texans. And the only reason I'm betting the Chargers in this spot, and I don't love it, I really, really, really don't love it, is because they lost last week. And it's time for them to man up. It's time for Phillip Rivers to step up and play a good game. Chargers defense is good enough to stay in it with the Texans. The Chargers offense is good enough to stay in it with the Texans. They're good enough to cover the 3. Let's go. Chargers -3, 5th pick. Count it. Next game up on the board, 49ers at home -6.5 against the Steelers. Again, another weird game. Big Ben's out for the season with an elbow. Mason Rudolph is his name. Mason Rudolph, not Kyle Rudolph. Mason Rudolph will be starting for the Pittsburgh Steelers. 49ers, I really liked what I saw out of them the last couple of weeks here. But I don't know how much worse the Steelers are going to be. And if you look at the 49ers first couple games here, they really haven't played anybody. They've been playing a couple cupcake matches here. So not sure. I wouldn't have a side in this game. I'm not even going to lean, but let's just see how the 49ers look this week. They haven't really played anyone yet, but Jimmy G is starting to look more comfortable. Sunday Night Football, Cleveland Browns at home against the Rams. They're catching 3 at home. The home dogs are barking. Woof, woof. Go Dogs. That's the Browns. I like the Browns here. Goff doesn't look too impressive to me, honestly. I like what the Browns are doing. I think Baker Mayfield is going to get a little bit more comfortable as the season progresses. Primetime game. Let's go. Dogs. Not a pick for me in the Super Contest, but I will maybe look at them as a play Sunday Night Football. Last game, Monday Night Football, ESPN, 5:15 kick here on the West Coast. We got the Bears visiting the FedEx Field and the Washington Redskins, who not sure how they are. They're not so great, but you never know. The Bears' defense is awesome. Their offense is terrible. I don't see this. I don't know. The total is 41. I don't know who's going to score in this one. I might look at the under there in that game, but at the end of the day, this is not a play for us in the Super Contest. It'll be hard for me to support the Redskins here. They don't have a great home crowd. Shout out to John Murray for pointing that one out. He was a season ticket holder growing up. It's in the middle of nowhere, apparently. They don't have a huge fan base. The Bears travel in droves, according to John Murray, and they have great fans. So it'll be an interesting one. I just don't know how the Bears are going to score. And this is coming from a guy that's got David Montgomery in his season-long fantasy. So let's see what happens here. I don't have a lean, but it's not even an interesting one. We're all going to be complaining that this is on Monday Night Football, but hopefully I'm wrong, and hopefully it's a better game than I am anticipating. So there you go. Those are our 5 picks plus the dogs. I like, the team. We got the Chargers, the Cardinals, the Falcons, the Ravens, the Broncos. We got the Chargers, the Cardinals, the Falcons, the Ravens, the Broncos. Oh, maybe. Oh, yeah. We don't have the Cardinals in the Super Contest, right? So we don't have the Chargers in the millions, and we have the Cardinals in the millions. Okay. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope this was great information for you. I hope that your Sunday best bets go well. Again, I am recommending my 3 best bets for the weekend: Broncos, Ravens, and the Cardinals. Before I leave, please like and subscribe. It would mean the world to me. Follow us on all social media at OverlayDFS. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.